Hi guys, I'm Gals, and welcome to Magic. In this video, we're going to have a look at how to deal with exceptions in Hyperlambda. You see, even though Hyperlambda is a fairly easily understood and simple, quote-unquote, programming language, it still features full support of exceptions. So if you're inside of your cloudlet here and you expand MISC, and then you open up the evaluator, and then you can click load, and then you can write try inside of the text filter box here. And then you can invoke this guy, at which point you're immediately executing the Hyperlambda. What is the Hyperlambda? It's a try block. Inside of the try block, it throws an exception. Then it contains a catch block, and then it contains a finally block. How does this translate if we now look into our log? Well, here you can see some error is thrown. Where did that originate from? Actually, it originated from here, where we were extracting the message that was passed into the catch block and logging it as an info statement. Then try finished evaluating. Okay, try finished evaluating. The way this works is that the catch is basically executed only if there is an exception occurring, and we can actually verify this by commenting out this line, executing it, and then doing a refresh. As you can see here, we only now have one of our log entries 3 seconds ago that was being executed, and that was the finally block. Well, the finally block always executes. Whenever the try is done executing, the finally block will always execute. If the try block throws an exception, then the dot catch block will execute before the dot finally block executes, right? So this is the basic semantics of how exceptions works in Hyperlambda, and it's very, very similar to all other programming languages. Now let's test out one unique feature with Hyperlambda though, by expanding tools, opening up HyperID, selecting our modules folder, clicking 3 dots here, and create a new folder, call it exceptions. Then select that folder. Then we create a new file inside of it. We call it foo.get.hl, and then let's throw an exception inside of here. Throw foo bar, this is not returned to the client. Save our file, Alt-S, invoke our endpoint, and as you can see here now, it says guru meditation. That's not the exception we threw. Well, you see the dilemma is that exceptions might sometimes include sensitive data. So by default, Magic never returns the exception to the client. However, the actual exception error and its associated data will always end up in your log. So if you're getting one of these guys, or a status code of 500, or any status code really, it doesn't really matter, then what you got to do, you got to go into your Magic Cloudlet and check the log to find its actual error message for security reasons. If we want to though, when we are throwing an exception, we can set public flag to true. Save the file, execute it, and now you see, ta-da, foo bar is not returned to the client. Well, actually, it was returned to the client. We set it to, if we remove it, save it, we get guru meditation. And we can also override the status code if we want to. For instance, 427, was that I'm a teapot or something? I can't remember. Now you see I'm returning a different status code. The default status code is 500 internal server error, but you can modify the status code any ways you wish when you are throwing an exception. And of course you can combine this with, you know, the public flag, etc. as you see fit, true, save, etc. Now we're getting the message back to the client. Then let's have a look at one more detail, which is this little file down here at the bottom. What is this? This is the default exception handler in your cloudlet, meaning that every single time an unhandled exception occurs in your cloudlet, this piece of Hyperlambda is executed. This is why we will find a log error invocation when an exception occurred and it's not handled in a try catch block. And this one basically is the one that returns guru meditation, come back when universe is in order. We now copy this guy, and we choose our exceptions folder. We create a new file. We call it, it must be named exactly exceptions.hl. Like everything else in Magic, everything is by convention. We can paste in the code here, and we can translate it to, I don't know, Buddha meditation. Something went south. Save this guy. Now if we invoke the foo.get.hl, you will see actually we're having a public true. Let's avoid having the public thing. We will see Buddha meditation, something went south. Because we have now overridden on this folder level the default exception handler that is being invoked if an unhandled exception occurs. Yet again, if I wrap this into a try and then a dot catch and then return, result, caught, save it, then ta-da, no exception penetrates to the client. Why? Because I'm actually catching the exception and I'm ignoring it and I'm just like returning result caught here, right? If I change it to a finally, then my finally will execute. However, it doesn't catch the exception. So my default exception handler is being invoked that returns the Buddha meditation part. So anyways, that was it for today's video. Exceptions, how to handle exceptions. It's quite similar to other programming languages, except this exception handler part, which allows you to like provide globally applied exception handlers upon unhandled exceptions, only unhandled exceptions. If you liked the video, I would appreciate a thumbs up and subscribing, hit the bell, and share the video with your friends. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.